When it comes to learning how to draw without a reference, I feel like there are two camps of people. There are the people that say you need to draw from reference all the time so you have more knowledge of the subject. And then there's the camp that say you need to draw without a reference all the time so you get used to like the skill of drawing without a reference. And I feel like they're both kind of wrong. My 4-step method is kind of in between the two. I've used this to learn how to draw eyes without a reference, how to draw dragons without a reference, how to draw demogorgons without a reference. And today I'm going to show you how to use it while I learn how to draw bats, because for my next project, I'm drawing Batman out of bats. So step 1, I call finding your starting point. So basically what you're going to do is you're just going to try and draw whatever your subject is without a reference. So this is going to people who haven't drawn without a reference before, or don't do it very often, this is probably going to feel very uncomfortable. So, boy, this is going to be rough. So I know they have like big ears, right? Then like tiny eyes, I think. So you want these to be kind of quick, and I would say do like two to three variations. I have no idea what their feet do. Oh my god. Ugh. Yeah, that's our attempt number 1. And you want to do multiple angles. So I'm gonna try doing this one while he's like on a tree. So it's gonna be like side view. I don't even know where to start here. Wait, are there arms? There hands? I think they are actually. Now I think about it. So these shouldn't be here. Oh well. I don't even know where to go from here. What do their wings do? He's looking. We're drawing bat pigs, basically. This is what it looks like right now. All right, we're calling that good. I give up. All right, step 2 is first study. So this is where you're gonna draw from a reference. So I'm gonna draw from like 2 or 3 references. Again, you want to try and take 10 minutes or less. That's all you want to do. Let's go. These wings are a lot bigger than I think I originally made them. This body's like here. And while drawing from reference, I find that like blurring your eyes and then blurring your eyes and looking at your original piece can help. I actually think some people can't blur their eyes, which is interesting. Comment down below if you can blur your eyes. Find something else that helps when I'm drawing from a reference is looking at the negative space. So like I'll look at the negative space right above the bat's head here, and it's not right. So I gotta change it a little bit. Right, so their arms are their wings. And their nose is like almost above their eyes. That's interesting. And their ears start like almost below their eyes. Interesting. I feel like another important thing on this stage, especially when you're drawing from references like this, is draw them from multiple angles, because otherwise you're probably like only gonna learn how to draw it from this one angle, and then if you try to do it later, then like try to do a different angle later, then you won't know how to do it. And the more angles you do, the more you'll be able to figure out the other angles that you haven't done yet, but you have an idea of the 3D form. And also, I feel like drawing without a reference takes understanding light and form, 3D space a lot. Takes understanding that a lot more than just from a reference. So that's something that like the more you do this kind of thing, the more you'll get. But at first, it might be rough. It was rough for me. And try to understand, like, especially if it's an animal, like the 3D forms that you're working with. So like for example with this bat, for some reason they have some weird out bones working like right here, which is good to know. I wouldn't think that's how they look. All right, first bat done. Second bat. Okay, their wings get really tiny when they're like standing. It's interesting. And a lot of times I would say also drawing from reference, you should start with like basic circles. Like see how I'm just starting with a basic circle here. Start with the big stuff, then go to detailed stuff. Okay, so they got this like interesting little flap, right? See, this is why it's also important to get it from different angles, because from the other photo you can't really tell this, but there's like this weird little flap like under their eyes kind of, and it's disgusting. They're kind of fluffy though. In a ugly kind of way. Oh, I forgot that like the wings connect to their feet too. Ugh, their hands are kind of odd. What even is happening there? They've got a single finger. All right, step 2 is done. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than what we started. Okay, third step is what I call test yourself. So what you're gonna do is draw without a reference, but this time what I recommend is go find more references of the thing that you're about to draw and just look at them, just so you can get idea of poses and like other stuff like that. But then don't look at them while you're drawing. This is testing to see if you've learned stuff from step 1 and from looking at the references. This is kind of like doing a practice test. So I'm gonna start trying to draw this from like above. Yeah, I'll draw this from above. Do they have a tail? Is it just like nothingness here? Ugh, the head's too small. Do I redo it? Or do I just... No, I think we make the body smaller because the wings are already a bit too small. I don't think they have a tail. All right, first one done. Doesn't quite look right to me, but that's okay. On to the next one. What should I do now? Maybe I'll do one with like its wings down, like this maybe. God damn it, the wings are too small. All right, not too shabby, I feel like, without a reference. Third step done. All right, the fourth step I call correction. So like if we're still using the school analogy, it's like correcting your practice test, figuring out what was wrong. So I would, whatever pose you chose from step 3, try and find a reference that has a similar pose to that, and then draw that from reference. So that way you can, it becomes clear what your mistakes. What are its feet? They're like backwards. Ugh. The more I learn about bats, the more I wish I didn't know. Made his body too long again. I keep doing this. All right, first bat done. A little knob thing here for some reason. Why? I'm not sure. Do they have a tail? I still haven't established this. It looks like they don't. Also, something else that you can think about while doing this step that might help you when you're drawing without a reference is like establish proportions in your mind. So, for example, there's like a little knob on the bat's wing that like establishes where the joint is, and that's about 1/3 the way up the wing. So like about 1/3 of it is that bone, and the other third is this bone. And that's useful to know for when you draw from without a reference. They are really just like pigs of the air, huh? Pigs with wings. All right, I think this one's done. All right, and if you still feel like you need more practice, repeat steps 3 and 4. Just keep doing that. Just keep doing it, drawing them without a reference and then drawing it with reference. And eventually, I feel like you can learn to draw basically anything. Here, I'm gonna draw one more bat just for proof of concept to show that, yes, I have gotten better at bats. What pose do we do is the question. What if we redid the very first one? Ugh, Jesus. Oh, now there's pressure because it actually has to be good. Frick. It's like the legs usually are going down. It's usually how they be. It's way too high. God damn it, I made the face too small. Whew. Another thing that you can think about while just drawing in general is where your light source is coming from. So here, I guess I'll decide that the light source is coming from like top right. I feel like all these shadows I'm adding are not helping. Nearly done. All right, I think it's done. Is it perfect? No. But is it better than my first one? Yes. And this whole thing took me like an hour and 15 minutes. And that's including all this like recording and camera stuff. So, I don't know. I feel like that's got to be at least a little bit inspiring. Camera just turned off. And if you want to see how the rest of this bat thing goes, this Batman made out of bats, go follow my Instagram. I'll probably be posting that in a few days. I've already done Vecna made out of Demogorgons and Toothless made out of dragons, if you want to go see. And then, subscribe if this was helpful, and have a good one.